What's going on, duelists? It's your boy Nick, bringing you another live duel video on the channel. You guys watched Ninja Krawler take the L against Umi Control. Well, now it's time to see if Generaider Invoked can pick up what was left behind and run home with the victory. Because we gotta stop this tidal wave, this tsunami that swept the board and left no one behind. For those of you new to the channel, welcome. My name's Nick. We focus on Yu-Gi-Oh! Content related mostly around casual and rogue decks alike. For those of you new to the channel, like I said, we do live duel videos, deck profiles, other things of that nature. So subscribe if you're watching this and haven't done so already. I'm working my way to 1,000 subs and I cannot get there without your help. Also like the video and comment down below on what you think of the duels. Because I do these recordings on my phone, I do struggle with the length of the video, so each individual game will be its own separate video. I will leave a link down below of this video for Game 2 and Game 3 if there is one. Additionally, I'll also leave links down below for the deck profiles being played here before you, so feel free to check those out as well. But with that being said, both my opponent and I are already shuffled, so we're going to cut each other's decks. And we're going to roll a dice and see who gets to go first. I'm assuming we'll do high roll.
Yep. One dice?
Yeah.
One.
Alright. Oh, let me slide this over. Just check and make sure. Alright, so everybody can still see everything. Wonderful. Okay, so let's say my opponent rolled a 1. So, let's see what we can come up with. 5. Alright. I will elect to go first.
Good luck.
Good luck, duelist. Let's see if Generaider Invoked has what it takes to stop Umi Control. Alright. So. Draw, standby. Good. Going into main phase.
You're good.
I will normal summon Alistair the Invoker. And I will activate its effect upon normal summon. It allows me to add an invocation from the deck to my hand. Good?
Okay.
Alright. Then I will link Alistair the Invoker off for a link summon of Artemis the Magistus Moon Maiden. In which case, I will then follow that up by activating Invocation. This allows me to fusion summon a fusion monster from the extra deck using monsters from my hand as material. However, if I'm summoning an invoked fusion monster this way, I can also banish monsters from my field and or either player's graveyard as fusion material. So I will banish Artemis and the Alistair to fusion summon the one and only invoked Mechaba. I will then use Invocation's Graveyard effect. It states, I can target a banish Alistair the Invoker, shuffle the Invocation back into my deck, and if I do, I can add the Alistair back to my hand. And Invoked Mechaba, for those of you who don't know, is an Omni-Negate. If the opponent activates a card or effect, I can discard a card of the same type, whether it's monster, spell, trap, to then negate and banish that activated card. Let's see here. I will then choose to special summon from my hand a copy of Dogmatica Ecclesia the Virtuous. I can do that since there's a monster summon from the extra deck on the field. And upon her special summon, I will activate her effect to search for a Dogmatica card to my hand. However, for the remainder of the turn, I cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. I will choose to grab a copy of Dogmatica Punishment. Okay. I will then set one back row, and I will pass it over to my opponent.
Okay. Drawing for turn.
It's fine.
Standby.
Yep.
Main.
Yep.
I'm going to attempt to normal electric jellyfish.
Thinking on the normal summon. So if you control Umi, he's a monster and a spell negate.
Yes.
And then a secondary effect is you can send a Umi from deck to graveyard for
Yes.
cost to special any water from hand.
That is correct.
That is... He's 1400, right?
Mhm.
I will activate Dogmatica Punishment in response to the summon of Jelly. This allows me to target a face-up monster the opponent controls. So I'm targeting that. Do you have anything for a cost? Okay. If it resolves, I can send a monster with an equal or higher attack from my extra deck to the graveyard, and if I do, I destroy that monster. However, until the end of the next turn after this card resolves, I cannot special summon monsters from my extra deck. I will send a copy of Garua, Wings of Resonant Life, to my graveyard to destroy your electric jellyfish. And then on a new chain, since Garua was sent to the graveyard from the extra deck, he will allow me to draw one card.
Okay. Good.
Yep.
All set.
Okay.
All set.
Okay.
Pass over to you.
Okay. Draw for turn. Anything on the draw phase?
You're good.
Anything on standby?
No.
Okay. Now keep in mind I'm still locked out of my extra deck this turn. Let's see how I want to approach this. I'm going to start things off by activating a copy of Nadir's Servant. This allows me to send a monster from my extra deck to the graveyard. Then I can add a Dogmatica monster or a Fallen of Albaz from my deck or graveyard to my hand that has attack less than or equal to the monster that I sent to grave. Also, for the rest of this turn, I cannot summon monsters from my extra deck. I will be sending a copy of Elder Entity Entis to my graveyard to then search a copy of Dogmatica Fleur de Lis from my deck to my hand. Then on a new chain, Elder Entity Entis will trigger Engrave since she was sent to the graveyard from the extra deck. I can target a card in the field and destroy it. I will target this one. Okay. Interesting. I will normal summon Alistair the Invoker and attempt to activate effect. It will allow me to grab an invocation. And then thinking here. We'll put Ecclesia to attack mode. And I will attempt to leave main and enter battle. Attack with Alistair directly for 1,000.
Fine.
Okay. Attack directly with Ecclesia for 15.
That's fine.
Then attack directly with Mechaba for 25. Okay. Then I will go main phase 2. And in main phase 2, I will activate Vala, side heir of the Generator bosses, from my hand. She states that if this card is in my hand or graveyard, I can send one other Generator card from my hand to the graveyard. So I will send Har, Generator Boss of Storms, from my hand to grave. Then I can special summon the Vala from hand. Special Vala. Upon her special summon, a Vala can target a Generator monster in my graveyard and special summon it. I will target Har. Special summon Har to my side of the field. Now I will pass my turn. So Vala is the brand new Generator monster out of Hypernova, Photon Hypernova, and she pretty much is like an extender for Generators. It's really, really insane how powerful she actually is. And then Har, for those of you who don't know, is an Omni-Negate by attributing 2 Generator monsters and or spellcasters for cost. I can negate and destroy the activation of any card or effect that my opponent does.
Draw?
Yep.
I'm going to attempt to normal summon Coders.
That is fine.
I'm going to special summon Silent Sea Nettle from my hand due to its effect. I control a water
You
monster.
control water, so you can special that. That is still fine.
See a graveyard real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to overlay.
Okay, so you're going to see someone.
Stealth Dragon.
Number 4 Stealth Kurgan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So everything on the field becomes water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're all pretty big,
They're all pretty big.
and this cannot be destroyed by battle by an extra deck monster.
Alright. All set. I'll pass turn.
Interesting. Okay. Nothing on end phase. I will draw for turn. Anything on draw?
Nope.
Okay. Standby. Okay, going into main. Well, now I'm not extra deck locked, so that's kind of cool. Thinking and how I want to go about this. Mind if I read this? All face on monsters on the field become water. Destroy one water monster. Control. Okay. How many cards in hand?
1.
1. I see. I will. This is a tough one. I'm going to activate Magical Meltdown. Upon activation, it's going to let me add an Alistair the Invoker from deck to hand.
I'll change.
Okay.
Subject to pop the generator boss.
Thinking. I will chain Invoked Mechaba, pitching Lopter, Shadow of the Generator bosses from hand as Chain Link 3. And if this resolves, he will negate and banish the number 4 Stealth Kraken.
Negate and banish? Okay.
It resolves?
So this gets banished?
Yes. The materials go to grave, though. And then, so he's negated to the stays alive, and then Meltdown Chainlink 1 will get me my search. Grab a copy of Alistair the Invoker. Thank you. I will link all 3 of these monsters away to go ahead and link summon into a Black Luster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, to my side of the field. It has to be summoned with 3 monsters with different names, and if it was link summoned using a level 7 or higher monster as material, which it was, this card cannot be targeted by card effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by the opponent's card effects. Anything here in the summon?
On summon?
Sure.
Torrential.
Torrential? Thinking. We'll go Har, Generator Boss of Storms, tributing himself and another Generator monster to negate the activation of Torrential and destroy it. I will normal summon Alistair the Invoker. Activate effect on summon to search. Or an invocation. I will then activate invocation. Banishing the Garua from grave and the Alistair on field. So I can fusion summon into a copy of Invoked Alguides. Also, something else I should point out is with Meltdown on field, this works similar to Branded Lost, where cards cannot be activated when a monster is fusion summoned, nor can the activation of my cards and effects that include an effective fusion summon can be negated. I just want to point that out. Then I will go Invocation Graveyard effect to shuffle back and to add a banished Alistair to hand. Invoked Alguides is really cool. Upon its fusion summon, or when the opponent special summons a monster, I can target a monster you control and destroy it. I will activate Nadir Servant. This will allow me to send a monster from my extra deck to grave, to then add a Dogmatica or Faunal of Albaz from my deck or graveyard to hand, whose attack is less than the monster sent. So I add the Ecclesia back to my hand. And then on a new chain, Entis trigger, since it was sent to the graveyard, I can target a card on the field, destroy it. I will go after the last back row. And I will then activate Alguides' secondary effect, where I can target, I can banish a fusion monster from my graveyard. This card gains attack equal to that banished monster's attack until the end of my opponent's turn. I will be banishing the Mechaba. This card will gain 2,500 to the end of your turn, making it 45, where I will swing for game. GG's. Generator Invoked takes game 1 from Umi Control. So that was a really crazy duel. How did you feel about that?
It was good. I mean, I got to see what your deck does.
Thoughts?
I had a pretty rough hand. I had multiple reefs, no Umis. I had a rough hand. I think game 2 is going to be interesting. But yeah, the first game I seen Generator brought off pretty decent.
And the funny thing was, you actually didn't see Generator do its Generator thing. I never had the field spell. So what you really saw was more like the Invoke side of it with a little bit of Generator. But we'll see how that differs in Game 2. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Like the video, comment down below on what you guys thought. I'll leave links in the description of this video down below for the deck profiles, as well as the link to Game 2, as well as Game 3 if there winds up being a Game 3. But with that being said, this is Nick signing off. Catch Game 2 in the following video.